and how it's being paid for, have one city rep caught in the crossfire. ABC-7 video shows you exactly what happened. Also, we're on top of what seems to be that never-ending renovation of the San Jacinto Plaza. Well, guess what? Those delays, they're costing you, the taxpayer. Also, French authorities are examining new evidence from the Paris attacks, and it could be the biggest break yet. We have complete coverage. ABC-7 issued a first alert because of it, and for a very good reason. As we track the trail of damage and we hear the frightening stories that many of you can relate to, we have better news on the horizon, Nichole.
A break from those strong winds tomorrow, but the bad news is the winds will return. Details in Storm Track Weather.
This is ABC-7 at 9. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley at Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Harp. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the CW. Nichole, good news. No more first alert. You guys lifted that earlier today.
Yes, we lifted the first alert, but it was still windy today. On our WeatherNet sites, just give you a peek of just how strong the winds did pick up this afternoon. Notice Mesilla Valley Christian School, wind gust close to 30 miles per hour. So still windy out there. We're going to check on those numbers. Talk about the temperatures for tomorrow coming up in just a bit. Bob?
All right. Thanks so much for that, Nichole. We do appreciate that. All right. We begin right now with yet another controversy surrounding El Paso's new downtown ballpark. Our complete coverage, it continues tonight with what ABC-7 learned today at the City Council meeting. Taxpayers have lost out, are you ready, on $22 million because some city leaders allegedly waited to start financing that stadium until after an election. Remember, initially the city said it would save about $24 million by issuing debt for the ballpark. But it turns out the financing did not go as planned, and the city is barely breaking even. Well, City Rep Courtney Nyland saying that is because the city got bad advice from a financial consultant called First Southwest. But a mayor and reps who were not on council when the ballpark was built, well, they simply don't believe her.
But if you think for 1 second that I'm not going to stand up here and tell the truth from the very beginning because I'm getting blamed for a $22 million error that was not mine, you bet your ass I am.
Somebody made a decision to wait till after an election, right, and that's what cost us a lot of money. Right. And that's real disheartening to hear that, and I think Ms. Firth just made that statement.
Well, as you just heard, the mayor and other city reps saying the city lost $22 million, and it was not because of bad financial advice. City reps Carl Robinson, Lily Limon, Claudia Ordaz, and the mayor, Oscar Leeser, all saying the real blame goes to the former city manager, Joyce Wilson, and the then city council, which decided not to take on the ballpark debt until after an election. And waiting that long and the ever-changing market actually cost the city all that money. Even the city's new chief financial officer agrees.
Was the financial advisor ever recommending delay of the issuance? And that never happened. As a matter of fact, they were asked at one meeting about delaying and the impact, and I don't remember verbatim what the response was, but it was, you're at market risk when you do that. So they were providing, I believe, as I went back and looked at the record carefully, I think that they were providing the right advice.
Well, the city CFO, who you just heard from, is so sure the loss of money was not because of bad advice from the consultant. He flat out refused to fire that consultant when City Rep Larry Romero asked him to do so. So tonight, it seems like the dust still has not settled after the demolition of City Hall. That was one of many controversial developments in the creation of Southwest University Park. Remember, a good number of El Pasoans were upset because voters did not have a say on whether City Hall should be torn down, which it actually ended up being torn down in 2013, simply to make room for a ballpark. But it happened anyway. And even the team name sent shockwaves through the borderland. You might remember when Mountain Star Sports Group, the owner of the Chihuahuas, unveiled that as the mascot for El Paso's AAA baseball team. Ooh, let's just say not everybody was happy about that. But time has passed, and I will say I was not a fan of the name before, but the name has grown on me, and I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way as well, because now the Chihuahuas is a symbol that a lot of El Pasoans stand behind very proudly. So, all right, news that politics may actually be behind the city losing out on $22 million. It has viewers like you telling us tonight, what a waste of money. That is what Sultan tells us on the KVIA.com Facebook page. What do you have to say? I can say a lot of you agree with Sultan. And later in the newscast, your comments on another bombshell out of City Hall today, one of several. ABC-7 learned the city is reportedly going months without anybody balancing its bank accounts. Okay, in April, a local firm looking into El Paso's finances found the city had not been doing this from November to April of this year. Now, the city says that's because it had 3 treasurers in 2 years, and the system is outdated and must be updated manually. Hold on, there's more. Another audit found several deficiencies or mistakes in how the city of El Paso manages grants. The mistakes range from not turning in required financial reports on time and misreporting expenses. Apparently, it was a slippery slope today at City Hall. We also learned the city will pay more than originally thought for the ongoing renovation of the San Jacinto Plaza. Today, we learned the city now has to pay SWA Group of California $38,000 more for the repeated delays and pushbacks of the grand opening of the plaza. So the contractor is now billing the city for the delay. There was some good news, though. The canopy at the San Jacinto Plaza, the one that we've been talking about for so long, is expected to go up a week from Monday. Well, tonight, the borderland slowly picking up the pieces from that ugly storm the Storm Track Weather Team warned you about. Now, we issued the ABC-7 first alert days before that storm hit, but that alert is no longer in effect, thankfully. Well, the winds are starting to calm down, as Nichole's been showing us, giving some crews throughout the city time to clean up all those downed trees, blown off roofs, and even damaged buildings downtown. Take a look at that video right here. This is from the Chase building downtown. A few of those panels were blown off of its side. And the wind is also likely behind those 3 semi-trucks that were knocked over yesterday from the Spaghetti Bowl all the way up 54 to Trans Mountain Road. Tonight, a woman who witnessed one of the 18-wheelers blown over, the one at the base of Trans Mountain, shares her story. And you'll see this only on ABC-7.
I looked into my rearview mirror, my right side passenger mirror, and I saw the trailer just land on its side. And then I looked back because my daughter's in the back seat and she was looking out the back and she looked horrified.
Vicki Daniels, who I have known since middle school, was actually, Nichole, my first dance at a middle school dance. Vicki, I just had to say that. Anyway, well, she got a hold of us today, and she was saying that she was in a car with her husband, Bryce, and her daughter, Mila, right next to the semi-truck that tipped over at the base of the mountains. A woman was reportedly taken to the hospital, though, with serious injuries after that truck flipped over on Trans Mountain. Vicki Daniels is saying total strangers stepped in to help without even giving it a second thought. Listen.
There was several people behind the trucker that stopped immediately after it fell, and they all got out. And there was even people climbing on top of the semi trying to get them out.
Well, we are still trying to get an update on the driver as well as the woman inside the truck as well. But in this case, no word from police leads us to believe that he's doing okay. Meantime, here's a live look at the traffic tonight. 9:08 is the time. This is I-10 in Porfirio Diaz near downtown. No problems as of right now, but scheduled maintenance, as we are getting used to on I-10, so just be aware that might be the case throughout the city, anywhere on I-10, but specifically I-10 downtown, eastbound toward Piedras is where all that work has been. Again, the ABC-7 first alert was lifted this afternoon, and while we are still tracking tonight, Nichole, the calmer weather conditions, we're also getting reports of damage.
It was windy today.
It was.
It was another windy day. Not nearly as windy as yesterday, but
it was crazy.
Very crazy.
Let's just leave it at that. I know that you and Doppler Dave were tracking a lot of weather activity. So was Iris Lopez in the Storm Track Weather Lab. Nichole, new at 9 tonight, she shares one man's story with us. Take a look.
A day after the ugly windstorm, this is what Gregory Haley's roof looks like. Bricks holding trash bags in place, the bags covering holes that Haley says were caused by the weather.
Well, the wind just came and tore up all the roof and everything, the shingles, everything.
Haley says that after 18 years of living in his Northeast El Paso home, he's sick to his stomach with worry.
And then on top of that, I was kind of really not worried for my life, but just worried for the damages that it caused yesterday, you know.
Walking into his home, you see the interior damage that the wind and rain caused. Buckets were placed in a room to prevent leaking water from getting on the ground.
And all this damage that I see right now, you know, so I feel real bad, you know, without no help or nothing.
Haley is retired and living off Social Security checks. After calling various roofing companies, he realized he would not be able to afford the costs to repair his roof.
Well, I called roofing companies and, you know, right now I don't have no insurance, and they told me they cannot do nothing, and then I don't have the money. I'm disabled, you know, don't have no help, you know.
With winter right around the corner, Haley fears the damage will only get worse.
Seems like I can't find nobody to help me out and everything. So, you know, it's just really hard on me.
After leaving Haley's home, I got in contact with a local roofing company. They went to Haley's house, saw the damages for themselves, and Escalante Enterprises told me that they are willing to help Haley with some of the repair damages, all just in time for the holidays. Iris Lopez, ABC-7.
Nichole, I was just telling you during that story, I feel so bad for him. I actually am dealing with a similar situation. Storm damage, my whole roof pretty much caved in. Ridiculous. So I feel so bad for that man.
The winds were so strong yesterday, and Bob, as I mentioned a little earlier, they were just as strong today. We want to take a look at some of the numbers, courtesy of our ABC-7 WeatherNet site, sponsored by the Mattress Firm. Give you an idea of just how strong the winds did pick up this afternoon. Chapin High School, northeast side of town, 60 miles per hour, and Biggs Army Airfield, very strong winds in the forecast. Other locations throughout the region, wind gusts were as high as 30 miles per hour. As far as temperatures, it was cool today. Right now, we're at 50 degrees El Paso at the airport, 43 Las Cruces, and 49 Alamogordo. Now, our forecast high today at the airport, 57 degrees, so a significant drop in temperatures compared to yesterday's high at the airport, where we hit below 70s. Now, this is what it feels like outside right now once you factor in the winds. 39 degrees Las Cruces, 41 TRC. Feels like it's 21 Ruidoso and 28 degrees in Silver City. Now, our clouds and radar picture showing we're under clear skies tonight, so it'll be nice tonight, and tomorrow it'll just be cold. Our wind speed's still windy in El Paso. Lighter winds in Las Cruces. We're still at 16 dimming and windy in Ruidoso. Wind gusts are lighter in El Paso and Las Cruces, but still very windy in Ruidoso with wind gusts at 38 miles per hour. So the winds are going to stick around tonight. Just keep in mind it will be another cold start to your morning, so we'll get a break from the cold weather. We're going to warm up, but then another cold front will arrive. I'll have those details when you can expect it coming up in Storm Track Weather. Bob?
All right, thanks so much for that, Nichole. Tonight, ABC-7 is gathering the brand new information out of Paris. A big break. It's now hours old. We just got this evening that apparently some new developments against the terrorists that they are trying to find who are responsible for 6 separate attacks last Friday, killing 129 people. Tonight, investigators are still analyzing several cell phones that were found where the attacks happened, and they say the phones are how the terrorists were communicating with each other. One reportedly had a message that was sent right before the attacks saying, "Okay, we're ready." Complete coverage of the Paris attacks continues tonight with a massive security sweep still underway as we speak. Now, right now, we can tell you French authorities have been broadcasting this man's photo, and now it's all over the world. Police released this because he is one of the accused terrorists who is thought to still be alive and hiding somewhere. Today, France again fighting back against ISIS with jet attacks, dropping 16 bombs and 10 more jets in operations as we speak. John Kerry, our Secretary of State, also there in France.
The level of cooperation could not be higher. We've agreed even to exchange more information.
Also new tonight, the German officials are saying they still have not found any explosives at a stadium in Hanover, Germany, where a stadium packed with soccer fans was evacuated today. Well, President Obama's plan to settle tens of thousands of Syrian refugees in the U.S. is dividing the country. Look at this. The governors of the states in dark orange saying they do not like the president's plan. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez, they make up, with 26 others, 28 governors who say they do not want to support this plan. And in Washington, the House Speaker summed up their message.
We cannot let terrorists take advantage of our compassion. This is a moment where it's better to be safe than to be sorry.
And all but one of the governors against the resettlement plan are Republican. And most of them say terrorists could use the refugees as a cover to sneak across the borders and attack Americans. Governor Martinez said President Obama needs to have a clear plan in place to properly vet and place the refugees. And Texans, I should say, saying immigration and terror are the greatest threats to the U.S. Our digital content director put this new Texas Tribune UT Austin poll on our website a few hours ago, so check it out. Also, that is where you can find complete coverage around the clock with updates and brand new content. At the top of our homepage, there's a link called Paris Attacks. Now, already more than 40 news stories have been posted there for you. One details why states cannot refuse refugees, but how they can make it tough. And another, how to talk to kids about tragic events. All now at KVIA.com. This is ABC 7 at 9. We'll be right back.